this point in time, Hendrick is just gonna have his guys wrapped in bubble wrap the minute they step outside a car. Again, it's happened. Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Jet. Welcome back to the episode of Inside the Lines. If I look wet, that's because I just got out of the shower. This news happened when I was taking a shower. So perfect timing. But yes, once again, another Hendrick story and another Hendrick driver is injured. Now, Alex Bowman competed at a sprint car race in 34 Raceway on Tuesday night. When this crash took place involving Connor Morrell, Bowman went flipping several times. Now, he was able to get out under his own power, but it has been reported that Alex Bowman will miss 3 to 4 weeks because of a fractured vertebrae that he sustained in that crash. Josh Berry will replace him in the 48 car. Now, Hendrick Motorsports, just like with Chase Elliott, will request a waiver to compete for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs if Alex Bowman wins a race this year before Daytona. And Bowman himself sent a message on social media that says, quote, "Last night I was involved in an on-track incident while racing and fractured a vertebrae. First, I want to let everyone know I'm feeling okay. My focus is now on healing and resting. Being out of the car is never an update any driver wants to make. I'm thankful to Josh Berry and Hendrick Motorsports for stepping up to the plate, and I know the entire Ally Racing team will give it their all these next few weeks. I'll be doing everything I can at home to help the team and ensure my recovery is as quick as possible to get back in the 48 car soon." All right, so again, like I said at the beginning of this video, I won't be surprised if Hendrick Motorsports just has his drivers wrapped in bubble wrap as soon as they get out of the car in the Cup Series, because, I mean, they just got back Chase Elliott. They spent, what, 5-6 races around that time without Chase Elliott. Finally, they got him back, and not 2 weeks in, just 2 weeks into it, we now have another driver that's on the mend. I mean, I understand, like, you have to give drivers leeway. You have to give drivers, you know, time to chill outside of the car, or else they're going to go crazy if they're just focusing on work in the Cup Series. You need to give them a time to cool off. But I won't be surprised if Rick Hendrick or Jeff Gordon or higher ups at Hendrick Motorsports make a change, because, I mean, this is now the second driver. We know Kyle Larson. We know he always does dirt racing. I don't know what William Byron does, if he does that type of extreme or off racing activities, but I mean, it has to go through Hendrick Motorsports' mind about, should we giving these drivers such leeway to doing all these other stuff? I think you should give drivers the opportunity to do something different outside of the Cup Series. You know, give them time to, you know, get their mind away from the Cup Series. But I mean, when you lose 2 drivers, when you lose your driver based off of a snowboarding incident on week 3, and then week 11, you then lose another driver due to an extreme/dirt racing incident, something that's outside of the car. Again, I'm just saying, I won't be surprised if Rick Hendrick or anybody at HMS does some type of rule change where it's like, okay, y'all need to take it easy with these extreme off or non-cup racing activities, because this is ridiculous. I mean, every single Hendrick Motorsports headline this year has always been bad. First it was Elliott, then it was the Hood Lovers at Phoenix, then it was them getting their points back and the backlash that received, and then they got an L1 penalty with Byron and I believe Kyle Larson or Alex Bowman at Richmond. Then they got that. Then finally, Chase Elliott comes back, lovely, and now they got this. It's like, man, Hendrick Motorsports has had a roller coaster of a season. But what do you think? Do you think that HMS should do anything with the driver? Do you think that they should maybe take the gas off how much leverage the drivers should have outside of the Cup Series? Do you believe that? Do you think that they should just still let the drivers do their thing? It's life, things happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But I will say this with Josh Berry, this is another great opportunity for him. He did, I thought, pretty well for the task that he was given, filling in for Chase Elliott. I thought he did pretty well. I mean, finishing in the top 5 at Richmond, you know, just like your 4th or 5th Cup start, that's pretty impressive. So, but now he's going to have another opportunity. And these next few races like Dover, Darlington, Kansas that are coming up, this is another big opportunity for Josh Berry to really show that he's capable of making it into the Cup Series. And I, for one, am a fan of Josh Berry. I think he is capable of the Cup Series in a top ride. And this is just another opportunity to really give it out there, to push that envelope that, hey, I can make it in the Cup Series. So I'm very happy for Josh Berry having this opportunity again, another opportunity to shine. And man, I feel bad for HMS. I feel bad for Alex Bowman. Hopefully he's doing well. Hopefully he recovers as soon as possible to get back on the racetrack. But damn! And I want to another Hendrick Motorsports driver, Chase Elliott. Luckily, this time it's not bad, but him, Christopher Bell, and Brad Keselowski all competed, or I should say participated, in a test session at New Hampshire Motor Speedway a couple days ago. And a question was asked from the Loosest Fast podcast about would the changes do anything, with the racing that we will see at New Hampshire later this year, or anything about horsepower, anything like that. And this is what Chase and Christopher had to say.
A lot of chatter the last couple of weeks about more horsepower, this, that, and the other, but we know that really isn't going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. So do you think the aero changes and tire changes can kind of make up that difference until potentially next season, any horsepower changing?
You want to start? Sure. Yeah, no, it's not going to change it a whole lot, I don't think. Not unless they narrow the tire or something, take 3 or 4 inches off the width of the tire. No, probably not. In my opinion, I think you're a pretty big step change from something as drastic as an engine change, and they're obviously not going to shrink the tire size, right? That was one of their modeling points when we went to this thing, so that's not going anywhere either.
Yeah, I guess from my standpoint, everything that we're doing is just a Band-Aid for the gutless engines that we have today. So, we keep taking downforce out because we try and get less grip in the cars. But, if we put horsepower in it, I don't think we have near the problems today that we have.
Well, with Yates saying, last week or a couple of days ago that 50 to 100 wasn't unrealistic, do you think we will see that change before the end of the season by any chance?
No. Not
wishful thinking at most on my part.
I mean, everything I've been told is no. Period. I don't know about you, Chase, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I mean, problem is you got the drivers say one thing, and you have engine shops and budgets and things. I don't really see where having a little more horsepower is going to change the bottom line that much, personally. But I don't work in those departments, so maybe it does. But to me, if you're increasing your entertainment value on track, it might be worth a little extra on the bottom line.
So yeah, summarize, simply put, Chase thinking it's not going to make that much of a difference, and Christopher Bell throwing the gutless engine into it was kind of funny, but I think he's right. It's just a Band-Aid. Because now teams are figuring out this next gen car more to the point where that parity level is shrinking, and also the amount of on throttle time is increasing, because obviously with the first car you had still a good amount of off throttle time because the car was so new. Teams didn't know how to really get it right with aerodynamics and things like that. Now when you're into it, you're seeing less on throttle or less off throttle time, drivers on the throttle a lot longer than last year. And on top of that, when you look at the tire that Goodyear brought in, and it's a very hard conservative tire, we know that this year they went conservative because it's a new car. They didn't want to do anything too risky. So again, to point out what Christopher Bell said, it's a Band-Aid, but that Band-Aid ain't going to last that long. Adding horsepower would solve 70-80% of the problems. Will NASCAR do it? Probably not. The only way I could ever see NASCAR adding horsepower, and I've said this in previous videos, is if they go hybrid. If they add a hybrid engine, that will allow them to add more horsepower into it. That's the only way I could ever see that happening. Now, when NASCAR will go hybrid, that's also, we don't know. It will happen, but we don't have an exact date. Maybe it could be 3, 4, 5 years down the line. We don't know. Yeah, it's very funny, NASCAR saying one thing, engine says one thing, driver saying another thing. It's like there's no connection. I mean, you do know it's possible coming from engine builders, from like Roush Yates Engines, that says that, hey, we can, maybe add a little bit more horsepower into it. Or I think HMS said we can add more horsepower, but it's just going to take a long time to do that. So there's a lot of talk about what the fix is, what the plan is. I do believe that eventually we're going to go back to high horsepower. And the reason why I say that is because of the 2019 aero package. We were all under the assumption, or at least I thought, that when NASCAR went to the high downforce, low horsepower, that we will never leave that we would always have 550 horsepower forever. That's what I thought, at least. And then we upped it up to 670 last year. So I do believe down the line we won't be at 670. I do believe down the line we can get back to at least the 750 range. I don't think 900, but at least a 750 range. I think we can get back to that. But the only way that can happen is if we go hybrid. But again, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on what Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell had to say? Do you see NASCAR adding potential horsepower down the line in the future, or do you think that 670 is going to be the way to go for the unknown future? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Inside the Lines. If you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thanks for watching.